not every coach's inbox, their email inbox is the same. Certain coaches have players with higher UTRs in their inbox than other universities, other coaches, other programs. So pretty much the formula is universities that have the highest endowments, and this is money that's been saved, put aside, where they live off the they use that interest for operating expenses, just like a retirement situation. So universities with high endowments usually have very low acceptance rates. And universities that have low acceptance rates, their coaches have in their inbox players with high UTRs. So again, the schools with the highest endowments have the lowest acceptance rates. Usually in their inbox, the coaches have players with the highest UTRs. So I'll give you an example. Like Harvard has a $37.6 billion endowment. So that's the largest endowment. I believe that's the largest endowment. And their acceptance rate is somewhere around 6%. So that means they reject 94% of the applications. Well, I believe at Harvard, probably on the men's side, their inbox is filled with players who are level 13s. And that's a pretty high level player, especially when scholarships aren't being used as a recruitment tool as much. On the women's side, I'm sure it's filled with level 9s on the Harvard's women's tennis team. So that's kind of how it works. Now, you might have some schools who have like a 70% acceptance rate or higher, and their UTR in their inbox is going to be lower if it's without a scholarship. When you use a scholarship as a recruitment tool, that can certainly, and facilities can certainly jack up the UTR that's in the inbox. But if we're talking with a non-scholarship situation, schools with 70% or higher, I'd be surprised if their inbox was had male players level 10 or higher, and on the female side maybe level 7 and higher. And I think I'm being overly optimistic with that. Now, when you get the inbox concept, there's pretty much 3 types of coaches. There's a coach who can recruit their inbox. Basically, they can recruit that level of player that is contacting them. And then you have some coaches who actually, they just mess it up. They don't recruit their inbox, and they end up with a player lower because they're just not that effective in recruiting. And then you have these overachievers that they out-recruit their inbox. And these coaches obviously have recruiting down. Now, as far as the strongest inbox in the country, it's really hard to outdo the Stanford men and women, top-notch school that offers scholarship. So I'm sure their inbox is filled with the highest players in the country. However, that doesn't mean programs can't out-recruit their inbox and be successful. Some years ago, on the men's side at the Division I level, you had, let's see, who do we have there? We had University of Illinois. Their inbox, they did it with All-Americans. So that coach out-recruited his inbox. He went out there and made it happen, found players to come to Illinois. Now, I don't know how he ended up recruiting them to come to Illinois, because it's kind of cold there. Maybe he told them that they had hey, come here to Illinois and we have a heated pool, something like that. Who knows? On the women's side, the team that comes to mind is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech won a national championship. It's a very attractive school for females. However, in order for that coach to do that, certainly had to out-recruit their inbox. So again, just try to understand when you're contacting schools, or just when you want to understand the lay of the land, whether you be a parent, a coach, a future college player, schools with the highest endowments have the lowest acceptance rates, and schools with the lowest acceptance rates have the highest UTRs in the inbox.